Gadget Show team, for your second challenge, you must build a power-assisted bike and race against a professional cyclist. You must use the bike we have provided, and there's a whole heap of tech waiting for you to help you modify it. Your opponent is waiting for you on the start line, so you better get a move on.
We headed straight for the quarter-mile drag strip at Shakespeare County Raceway, where pro cyclist Ben Swift was ready and waiting for us.
Our challenge to build a power-assisted bike just got very real.
You're our bicycling expert, so maybe you should actually ride it. So I'm up for that.
OK.
I'm up for that, definitely.
You're riding, we're making.
We immediately spotted a neat collection of tech that we could use to modify the bike and hopefully give it enough welly to get Otis down the quarter-mile straight.
We want something that's light and super fast, don't we, to help him?
Yeah.
Then I spotted a nitro-powered RC car, similar to the one we previously used to win a world record.
Well, definitely that's super fast.
Yeah, the only issue with Nitro is its reliability. We've only got half an hour as well to set it up.
Yeah,
something like this, electric ducted fan engines, OK? So
yes.
these give a huge bang for your buck.
Yeah.
These are actually very, very lightweight.
EDF engines use battery power to suck in air and create propulsion, ideal for our challenge.
I reckon these would give about 6 horsepower each. And 4 of these, that's more power than an original Fiat 500.
On the workbench, Polly and I were looking for a way to mount the 4 EDF engines onto the back of Otis's bike.
Oh, it's got a base
on as well.
A bike rack was the best solution, but for extra rigidity and stability, we decided to beef it up with a bracket to attach the engines to.
Meanwhile, Jason and I had found the perfect power source for our EDF engines.
The most sophisticated, cutting-edge battery source, lithium polymer.
1 pair of batteries per engine.
We had 8 batteries in total, a whole lot of power going into our engines, but we needed a way to control them.
Look for 3 more of those.
Speed controllers were the answer, and we needed to connect one to each of the engines, otherwise Otis would go flying. Literally.
You'll have 4 of these bad boys. You ready?
Watch Jason take off.
Ah, do it again. Go for it, full power.
Susie was busy finishing off our bracket. The 3 pieces of metal needed to be welded together to make a U-shaped bracket that would sit under the bike rack and hold the engines on the side.
It's a bit rough already, but it should be, should work.
We only had 10 minutes left to get the bike finished. Polly and I attached the bike rack that would hold the batteries, and the bracket went underneath, ready for the engines.
Pedals need changing.
How are we doing?
Good, just take your time and just make sure every nut and bolt is done properly, otherwise it's not going to work.
We carefully fixed each engine onto the bracket. They had to be perfectly straight. Any sign of instability would be bad news for Otis.
Then all that was left to do was connect the batteries and speed controllers, while Grant and James made sure the throttle was in the right place under the handlebars.
When you apply throttle, OK, via the switch, do it very gently. So what I suggest you do is get the throttle on almost immediately.
Yeah.
Test it.
Yeah.
What you mustn't do is that, because it will really be a problem. It could make you do a wheelie. It will really feel a bit scary, I think, to begin with.
Only if I crank it right up to start with.
So take your time, but equally, strategically, you can't take too much time, otherwise the guy's going to be gone.
We'd done it. We built a power-assisted bike in just 45 minutes. And now Otis was ready to race down the daunting quarter-mile straight against professional cyclist Ben Swift.
The time had come.
3, 2, 1, go!
We were off. Instantly, Ben left me for dust, and he just kept on going. It took me a while to power up my engines, and I could see him fading into the distance. Keeping the bike steady whilst applying the throttle was taking all of my concentration, and Ben was getting further and further ahead while I didn't seem to be moving. But I kept focused, and as I pushed the throttle slowly upwards, all of a sudden I realised I was closing the gap. I couldn't believe it! But was there enough track left for me to beat him? As I crossed the line, I clocked a remarkable 44 miles per hour. Unbelievable!